here we're going to ascend 2 ropes. And so this would be applicable in a scenario where maybe you rappelled and for some reason the knot is stuck in a crack or stuck on an edge, and you feel confident that you can safely climb up the ropes to unstuck it, get it unstuck. And so hence you've got 2 ropes hanging down, and you decide you're going to climb both of these ropes. Here, an auto-blocking blade device like a ATC guide from Black Diamond can be really, really helpful, because it really helps you do this without having to do the 2 friction hitch method as I showed in another lesson. What we're going to do when we do this is we're going to build this belay device on our harness, on the belay loop, much like we would, just like we would if we were belaying from the top on a climb. So here, I'm building it directly on my belay loop. And I can test this right off the bat, okay, that it's going to hold, okay. We never completely trust a device to be hands-free, so hence I will tie backup knots in every body length as I ascend the rope here. And my backup knot, my catastrophe knot, is just an overhand on a bite. I don't need to clip that into my belay loop because I do have this on my belay loop already, and so the catastrophe knot is just a backup to that device. And then what I need to do next is I need to attach a friction hitch onto my ropes that I can use for my foot loop. And so here, I'll use my Clem Heist, put a bunch of wraps on it. Okay, feels like it's holding pretty well. This is a pretty skinny rope, but now I've got 2 ropes, so it will theoretically hold a little better. It's not a very new rope, so that should help me. Newer ropes tend to slip a lot more. Okay, I'm just going to lock that for good measure, just out of habit. And then here, I'm going to tie a little slip hitch into that foot loop. I talked a little bit about foot loops in the single rope ascending section. And here now, I've got a foot loop ready, and I'm essentially going to power belay up as I ascend up. And so here, I'm holding on and pulling up. As we did earlier with the assisted braking device, the Grigri, I can redirect these brake strands if I want, just to change my direction of pull. So here, okay, I've redirected it off the friction hitch, and now I'm pulling down instead of pulling up. And again, there's not like a huge advantage to that. Sometimes it's just nice to mix it up. If you feel like this is hard on your elbow or your shoulder, maybe you redirect it to pull down. I think often people do find it's more natural to pull down. It does add more friction to the system, so that actually may be a hindrance, but just something to consider of as you go up. You can see here, actually, as I do that, one thing that happens as well is because you're not just directly pulling the rope through the device, it can bind up a little bit more as it pulls the rope through the device. So there now, I'm climbing up. I'll throw another backup knot in, even though I'm still within those 2 meters. But every body length, I'm going to put those catastrophe knots in. Now, when I get to the top, it would be easiest if I could just do a non-technical release. But it's good to practice a technical release with this as well. So here, I'll back some things up just so you can see this. Now I need to be able to lower, but I'm like in this auto-blocking device, and I'm kind of stuck in a way, so I need to be able to get out. So you can see that. My goal now is to put this on my belay loop. And so here, I can do a couple of things here. I've got knots every body length, so I'm not too worried about like the backup, right? I could put on a friction hitch backup because I'm going to turn this into a rappel device, but that adds a lot of complexity that I probably don't need to add or want to add. And so here, I'm going to go back to my foot loop. And what I am going to do though is I'm going to clip this last catastrophe knot in directly into my harness just for a little added security. I'm going to go back to my foot loop, and here now I'm going to pull up. Now there's a couple ways you can do this, and I might do it this way here with this blue carabiner. I'm going to pull up to release this, actually I'll just do it with the carabiner that's in there. I get enough slack on there. Okay. Now I've released that. I have it on rappel now. Got backups in there to protect me on the way down. I can hold myself here. And I can lower myself to the ground. So there, a double rope ascension using an auto blocking device like the ATC Guide.